Well, with everything that's been going on in Texas with the hurricane, it's made so many of us think, what would I do in that situation? Would I be prepared? So excited to have Debbie Kent here from Store This, Not That, showing us how we can be prepared for natural disasters that can hit right here in Utah.
That's right. Probably not hurricanes or tornadoes, but earthquakes is a good possibility. So when an earthquake happens, it is obviously scary when it's first going on, but just like everything else, if you practice with your kids ahead of time so that you know what to do, where to go when an earthquake hits, then it's not so bad.
Well, I love that you broke this down to what to do in the first 3 minutes after earthquake, the first 3 minutes after...
First 3 hours?
Sorry.
Yeah. And first 3 days.
And first 3 days. She's got it. I feel like an earthquake just hit and I'm trying to adjust.
That's right.
To what's going on with this. Okay, so let's talk about what to do the first 3 minutes.
Okay, so I'm from Southern California, and it seems like most of our big earthquakes happen in the middle of the night. So one of the things I learned from the Northridge quake was to have some supplies right next to your bed. For instance, you need shoes because there's debris all over the ground after a quake and you cut up your feet and then you can't move. Gloves so that you can dig your way out. A crowbar, so in case your door's jammed, you can get out of your room and go check on your baby. And a light stick is a great idea. You can actually, with Velcro, stick it right on your bed frame, and then the quake's not going to throw it around your room. You'll have it, and you can break it, and you'll have some light.
That's so brilliant. I love that idea to have that. And you even have a bag close by. Is that where you keep all of these supplies?
I do. This is actually my bag that I keep next to my bed, and this is all the supplies that I keep in it. I also have a whistle in case I'm stuck in there. I can blow instead of trying to yell to get, and I have glasses so that I can see.
Well, I think that's a great thing because then my kids are going to know where I am in the house if they can't find me through the debris.
That's right.
Let's talk about what you're supposed to do the first 3 hours after the earthquake.
Okay, so the first 3 hours, obviously the very first thing is, where's my family and are they okay? And if they're home, that's going to be a little easier to deal with. If they're not, you need to have a family plan in place. You need to meet somewhere. But the first 3 hours are going to be dealing with finding your family, dealing with any injuries because you're not going to be running to the doctor or the hospital. You're going to be dealing with injuries at your house. So having a first aid kit and knowing how to use the things in it is really important. So having some skills is important in that part. You also, after you check on your family, you're going to check to make sure if you have natural gas, that your gas lines are not leaking. So you're going to check for that. And if it is leaking, you need to have one of these handy-dandy little things that you can attach. Just leave it attached to your gas meter all the time so you can turn it off right then.
So I know you said we're keeping the 3 minutes in our room. Where would you store this?
So my 72-hour kit is actually in my car, which I park outside, so if there was an earthquake, it wouldn't get stuck in there. Usually somewhere near an exit. After quakes, there's lots of aftershocks, sometimes even bigger than the original quake. So you need to have it somewhere that you can grab it and go if your house isn't safe. And after you get yourself out, you'll probably be worrying about your neighbors. And I actually done CERT training, which teaches you how to safely get people out from underneath debris and be able to deal with them and help them until other help comes.
Well, and sometimes other help can't come right away, especially in a case of a huge disaster. Let's talk about 3 days after.
Okay, so 3 days is probably the scariest part. It was your reaction, right? The scariest part. But after quakes, most people for 2 weeks will not feel safe in their home. Even if your home is safe to be in, you don't know that it's safe to be in, and it could come down on the next aftershock. So basically having camping equipment. So having some kind of shelter, it could be in the middle of winter. It needs to be something that keeps you dry and safe. Having sleeping bags, having some kind of toilet so that you can go to the bathroom if your toilets and water isn't running. And of course, having food and plenty of water.
Food and plenty of water. Such great tips to have. Thank you, Debbie, for bringing all of this to this. For more information about how you can be prepared, be sure to visit Store This, Not That. We're going to have their information linked from our website and so much more going on. And September is National Preparedness Month.
It is National Preparedness Month, so it's the perfect time to get your stuff together.
So meet up with your family, get a plan, check out what you've got, and make sure you have everything you would need for the first 3 minutes, 3 hours, and 3 days after.
That's right.
Thanks so much, Debbie, for being here.
Thanks.
What's coming up next?